they did not debate it. They walked out of the parliament. So as I said more recently, I can't force the opposition to be part of the process. I think I have to make sure that the consultations are transparent and broad-based. But the opposition has taken a negative attitude in Guyana to the whole process. So, but I'm prepared to put it back, table it again in the National Assembly, so there could be a full debate, and he could ask all the questions, and it's televised in Guyana, so then everyone would see, and the answers would have to be given in the National Assembly. The questions you raise about transparency, etc., are all outlined in the MOU. There'll be an international, reputable international institution that will manage the firm, the fund. The Ministry of Finance would implement it. There'll be reports to the National Assembly, audits done. The international firm would do audits of the project. The money can only be used for projects identified through the consultation process in the LCDS. We have listed a number of areas. It would have to be done through public tender. All of these are outlined there, but I'm very surprised. This is the problem of the past that we have in Guyana. The opposition can't pick up the phone and call me, and ask about this when they have opportunities.
Perhaps David Cameron will start talking to Gordon Browns for Global Witness as well. I'm just going to, so that might be an advance, I'm just going to ask each of the panel just to make any other comments that they would like to make. Duncan.
Caught me on the hop there.
Moving the microphone slowly.
Moving the microphone very slowly. Well, I think it was a privilege to be asked to monitor the consultation process. It was a surprise. We haven't always been particularly favourable to the government of Guyana, so it was a surprise. And the team I took part in really did attend every meeting, I think, throughout the consultation process, and every of the weekly multi-stakeholder steering committee meetings at which the President was there and chaired. So for me that bodes well, and the commitment, I think, to carry on that multi-stakeholder process, both in the team that is revising the LCDS and in the implementation of it, also bodes well. So I'm not going to sit here and say something negative when I don't see negative things to see.
Rosalind.
Thank you. I think I just want to home in on one issue, which is the monitoring and MRV. Yeah? And I think we're very encouraged to hear you say how you recognise the importance of it and how fundamental it is. And I think the one issue, I think what we would ask is that now we start to think beyond carbon as we're into now phases 1 and then into phases 2 of phase 2 of implementing REDD, because I think an MRV system is more than just measuring emissions and removals, and it's more than satellite monitoring, and it's more than carbon accounting on the ground through sample plots. But what I'm trying to say is I think we need to move on to how we're going to monitor these underlying issues of governance, social impacts, environmental integrity and drivers, and how we build those into the monitoring system, part of which will be monitoring the carbon. And I think the beginnings are there, and I was really encouraged. I was encouraged with James's presentation in Washington, and I think I would encourage you to to go to build on that and actually build a monitoring system that we can use as a model for other countries, and on these issues beyond carbon as well. Yeah.
To Sharpness.
I wish to say that I'm thankful for the opportunity of being here to share with you, and I would like you to know that the indigenous peoples of Guyana, we are very much involved We're part of all the consultation. We're on every, I don't want to say stakeholders group, rights holder, because indigenous peoples, we are as indigenous peoples, we have our rights. And so we are everywhere. And we will continue to support this initiative, to work very closely with government, and to ensure all that is being said about the indigenous, with regards to indigenous peoples, that it will happen. We are discussing the benefit sharing also, which we haven't mentioned really. But we are into everything, and we are supporting the low carbon development strategy of Guyana. We think it can work. Thank you.
Mr. President, I don't think you need that. You've got another microphone.
Yeah, okay,
under the
yeah,
belt.
sure, right. So politicians have it. Well, thank you very much for this interesting meeting. I live in a democratic country, and every 5 years we have elections. We have a lot of poor people in this country, and many times from the developed world, people talk about the money that they're giving. Norway is particularly generous, but the money that Norway is giving is just a tiny, tiny fraction of its gross domestic product. In exchange, what I'm saying to my people, I'm locking away a huge asset from you that you can use to get out of poverty, to develop, to use as the developed countries did. I'm taking that away from you on the promise that the international community will live up to their expectations. Sometimes it's felt that political capital can only be squandered or used in the developed world, that we don't expend political capital too. If I fail in this, people will judge me harshly. And if I fail, then more people will remain poor, probably get poor. I would take away from them a means by which they can live and earn. So I hope that you understand the risk we are taking too, because often I hear about the risk from the other part of the world. We are taking a huge risk by getting involved in this. And so I hope that there's balance in this debate, that we will try as hard as it is, and there's still many questions that have to be answered and developed. But as difficult as it is, this is good for the world, and it can offer a different path to countries like ours, if carefully done. But what we need now is not just finding fault with it. We need people who recognize concerns and are prepared to overcome them, work hard to overcome them. And it's a process. It's not going to be perfect at the beginning, but I think if we stick with it long enough, this could be the biggest single climate change action that is taken anywhere in the world for the next 5 years, saving the forest. Thank you.
Just going to ask if you could give all the speakers a round of applause. So that's lovely. I think they've earned it. I'd like to thank you all, and I think the questions and the range of questions show just how challenging and difficult some of this is going to be. There's clearly a real spirit to do something good. But the challenges absolutely remain, and I think the questions show here that this is an ongoing and pretty difficult discussion that's, I guess, going to continue. I think it's been very open. I'm delighted that we've recorded the whole thing and transcribed it, and I look forward to people who aren't able to be here and who aren't in the room to actually see it and hear it. So thank you very much, and please do join us for a drink afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.